sit for the next 2 weeks. Or 10 days, would be even better. Okay, we're gonna drop centerboards down to mid position. Starboard down to mid. Yeah, go for port. How's your first haul out of Saoirse?
Well, it's still happening. But it came out, it was actually really stable. Clearly have done this before. They have done this before. I haven't.
But coming into the slip was okay?
He said it was only 10 meters wide, but I feel it was a little more than that. So I was a little nervous for the width, but there was plenty of room, both sides. Yeah, but I mean, they were lifting before I even knew it. See what happens with the supporting, blocking.
Yeah, they're just setting up these beams.
Also, I was really nervous. Well, number one, because it was the first time. Two, I had taken apart the boat, like the electrical for the hydraulic system, the centerboards yesterday.
What time did you get up today to work on that?
I woke up at like 2 o'clock and I couldn't sleep after. I ended up getting up at around 4, and I just did a whole bunch of wiring. But now our centerboards, we were able to drop them. They're not all the way. We're gonna have to at some point lift a little higher to drop them all the way.
Yep, but we're staying as low as we can because otherwise it won't be able to reach the hull to do the work.
Yeah.
You're a legend, Kevin. Well done.
I'm glad. I'm amazed you got it done.
Setting up the stands, shimming everything. Kevin supervising. It's one way to test things. Oh my gosh. I hear wood cracking. There goes the lift. And now boat jobs. That's our Echo Pilot. So now the strap is off. You can see it did not get crushed, which is fantastic. And so now we know this mark should be like the front of the strap. So they've pressure washed, and now you can really see that's a busted bubble.
Mm-hmm. This kind of stuff.
Big bubbles.
Pretty hard until they break.
Yeah, till they pop, and then whatever's underneath is exposed, like these.
Yeah.
Popped. Which seems unusual. Coppercoat is supposed to last longer than
A month.
a year and a half. Well, we saw the bubbles, yeah, immediately. We're going over what the bottom paint's going to look like. So we're going to raise it to where Kevin's pointing there, basically the top of the bootstrap. And it'll kind of feather its way to midship somewhere here. We're going to prop speed the props. Touch up the rudders. So this is day 2 at the yard. A little bit of a bust. They didn't do any work on the boat today. It's been raining, which to say they can't use the electric sanders and things in the rain. And we have other jobs they could do, but hopefully tomorrow. They say they're going to start sanding tomorrow, and we've talked to the project manager directly now.
And it's dry under the boat.
It is dry under the boat. There is dry spots. Anyway, let's see what happens on day 3.
looking a lot nicer.
Ooh.
Still need to work on the gears a little bit more.
Yeah.
And now this one in particular, I just worked through that, but it's still a little bit tight, moving back and forth.
Some stuff in there.
Yeah. And then just before we put it back in the water, we'll coat it with top speed.
Right.
To prevent marine growth.
It's so pretty and soft now, compared to all the barnacles.
Yeah. Yeah.
Day 4 today, no rain. This side, which was getting all the rain on it yesterday, so they haven't touched it yet. I'm gonna do this today. So they're having to take it down right to the fiberglass where those bubbles were. So all this was bubbles.
So these underwater lights stopped working. In the summer, I traced the problem to, there's a junction box in the platform, and it was all full of rusty water, which is a bad sign. It means all the connections were rusted.
Oh, there it is, eh?
Inside, there's like a circuit board. Yeah, it's toast. Shit's just breaking off. And so I'm gonna rewire this a little more water resistant, like.
There's our sanding team.
I like that.
Right?
Yeah, if I could get some tools.
Today I'm working on the generator, and I'll show you what we're doing here. So the sea strainer, we're going to move that back into our cabin next to the sea cock. So that'll reduce how long of a run the water has to go before going through there. These are the pipes, and you'll notice they're kind of red colored. I think that's from the seawater and bacterial growth, and it's smelly. So we're hoping changing that hose to this stuff will reduce what kind of growth we get in there and reduce the smell. Okay, generator strainer is no longer in the generator room. It's actually within view of the seacock. The new bracket, we put a one-way valve, and it goes down to the seacock. So we've taken out 3 meters of extra pipe. So currently it's a roughly 4 meter run, and it used to be a 7 meter run. So hopefully this helps our impellers for the generator, and they don't get chewed up so quickly. This morning, we're measuring our chain. We dropped the anchor, and we flaked it out, and we've actually got over 100 meters of chain. 100 plus this little section. Call it 101. This is how we're marking it, to these little toggles. And so even numbers are yellow for every 10 meter section. Odd numbers are red. And we ran out. We didn't know we had so much chain. And now we know. So we had some rust running down the hull from one of our drains. I'm in one of the forward lockers. That's the drain. It did have a bunch of rusty water, which I cleaned. But if you can see, there's like a false floor here. And if we look down below, that looks like, it's like there's a nut or something right in the middle there. So I'm gonna try to retrieve it. Maybe that's the source of the rust. I found lots of goodies. So what I thought was a washer is more PVC. However, this is some kind of piece of rusting metal. And then of course, some screws that are all rusted up to hell. More rust sources. So I'm really excited actually. I've been able to retrieve these. I'm gonna rinse out the locker, and hopefully we have no more rust coming out of this drain hole. Getting ready for priming. Okay. Woohoo! Well, that makes it much easier.
This really soft, rusty area here. I think this is where all the rust stain in the engine compartment was from this area.
That's the old ladder.
Another one here.
You get to build your own soup and pick your ingredients as you like. And then you can choose your broth. And look at the prices. 8 ringgit, 7 ringgit. It's amazing. How's the build your own soup?
That was quick, really quick.
It's super
Good.
fast.
Good experience. You could put the
And-
things you want.
And is it tasty?
Yeah, it's good. It's everything you can imagine.
There you go.
This guy reminds me.
There's so many. With the dew last night, you can tell it's a little bit dirty now in the yard. I'm on to my second hatch handle. Got it cleaned up. I'm gonna tape it, draw it out, and then put the next one in. Sail drive, oil change. Woo.
I'm gonna take all this off to grease the spline in here.
Spline.
Spline.
You made that up.
Yeah. There are lots of little parts that I have to put thread locker on, and they have specific torques. So I got the torque wrench ready up top.
Cool. You're doing great, Kevin. Jobs are getting done.
Yeah.
Yeah. New ladder going in. Started putting filler today. It's exciting. Next up's, once it's dry, we'll be sanding, priming, probably sanding again, and Coppercoat. And then sanding again. You can never sand enough. And that's Kevin trying to refill the oil in the sail drive back there.
Uh-huh. This is me.
That's you. Look at that beautiful Gori prop flexi stopper.
Old one, new one. So over time these get eaten up. And it's a pain. It's a pain to replace them. So you're likely to injure yourself.
Ah. There it goes. And there you go. And today they finished putting all the filler.
They shouldn't have packed. They didn't do the fiberglass work. They just patched that.
They oh, that was supposed to be fiberglass. Boop boop. Nature at the yard. Caught himself a fish. They're pretty, these sea eagles. Ooh, shaky. That's the sign for the end of the day. So this stuff is their first layer of Coppercoat, which is not really awe-inspiring. I don't know.
I have 2 engines.